Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another Axel Centre 2 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview. I'm here with Tej Singh. Tej, how are we doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
Good to hear.
How,
Well,
how about yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And just
Oh,
so everybody knows, you're a 37-year-old super middleweight who's 18, 6 and 3. Am I right with that?
I'm actually I just had my last fight at middleweight, but I'm actually middleweight.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, well, okay, yeah, no, because I knew that you used to be middleweight when you won titles and stuff. I just wasn't sure if you moved up or not.
yeah.
Alright, cool.
No,
So,
no, I'm still at middleweight. I'm just wasn't getting any fights, so
mm,
I had to move up. So hopefully we'll get fights at middleweight now.
mm. Okay, lovely stuff. Well, just to start off with the question which I always like to start off with, why did you start boxing?
It's actually I didn't stop boxing. It's just COVID happened, and I was in Melbourne back then,
Mm,
and particularly Melbourne was really strict with
mm,
COVID restrictions and all.
mm,
And so after maybe a year, a fight happened for I thought that was against Isaac Hartman.
mm,
I believe I won the fight, but anyway, judges saw otherwise because it was his home turf and everything. And then we chased for the rematch, but it didn't happen. So uh, opportunity brought in I thought might try my luck in states, so I went to United States and was there for a year, but things didn't work out with the manager and all because she was kind of greedy, and she wasn't giving me proper time frame to prepare for a fight, and wasn't bringing the right kind of fights, and the money wasn't good either. So I had to part ways from her and move back. So back and forth, moving and coming back, that sort of wrecked the time frame, and so that's why such a huge gap.
okay, no, that's interesting, and I suppose you've had a few defeats, but how have you and how tough is it to come back from a defeat?
Well, it's just a mindset, I would say. Either you learn from it or you just keep thinking about just keep going down. Uh, Something some fights I would say shouldn't have been defeats, but it is what it is. All you can do is learn from it and move on and improve yourself, be
Mm,
better,
mm,
I suppose. And that's how I approach. Even if I and at this point, I used to look. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be scared. What if I lose or something like that? But I don't care anymore. I
mm,
just want to give my best. Just want to have a fight. If it goes the other way around, so what? I'll just give my best. And if I don't win this time, I'll do myself. I'll improve and get better, and we'll see what happens next. So that's my approach these days.
okay, that's amazing. And so, I mean, congratulations first of all on your victory just a few days back, and so that kind of
Thanks.
that's all right. And that leads me on to ask, which fight would you say you have performed your best in?
uh it's hard to say because every fight has its own importance. I would say the fight against Jay Cobb when I won the WBO Oceania,
Mm,
that stands out of it because I was an underdog and
mm-hmm,
I beat the guy, and I won a title as well. So yeah, that fight I would say would be my best so far.
okay, and I mean, of course, you mentioned you won that title in that fight, and how big of an achievement was being that champion?
I mean, it's just another obstacle to go further. I suppose I don't consider it's a really big achievement. I just it's just I just love boxing, I love fighting, and if I had lost that, it's not about being discouraged or anything. I just see as an improvement. Of course, I was happy I won a title and everything, but it's an achievement, but not a huge achievement or anything. It is at the end of the day, I'm just like a normal person. Like, people go to the, like, go do their daily jobs. I box, so like in this kind of my job, so like in its achievement, but like in it's like it's a way to get myself better each time with each fight, and like winning a title, sort of like sorry, yeah, makes you like believe like you're doing better, and like you're improving and everything. So like it's sort of like establishment, or I would say like a recognition of like that you have improved and you're improving. That's how I see things.
Of course, that's a very good mindset. And so, I mean, you've had some amazing fights, and you're always seemingly fighting very tough opponents. And is that something that you kind of always want to be fighting some of the best opponents?
At one point, yeah, but like look, back in the days, I used to think like the level of my opponent should be like it's just like slightly raised, not like up and up. Like I always had hard fights, but it is what it is. Now I don't see that anymore. Like it's just like if someone's better than me, like I'll lose to him, and like I'll come better, and like if I fight him again, like I'll do a lot better, and like probably will beat him. So that's the mindset I have, and I just want to fight these days. Like doesn't matter whoever the opponent is. Like it's just like it's a fight at the end. I'm like we're in a fight business. Like win or lose, it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's just like I just want to keep fighting, keep improving, and see what happens next.
Okay, amazing. And kind of links to my next question. I mean, you've probably had days where you've not really wanted to go to the gym, like I'm sure every fighter does, and everybody does really. And what is that kind of motivation to keep going on them days where maybe you don't want to?
Oh, what else to do? I mean, like okay, fair enough. Like you don't want to go to the gym like for a day or two, then it comes to you like what am I doing and what should I do next? So I sometimes feel that you don't want to go there to train, but if you don't go there, you get more depressed. So it makes you want to go there even more. Like look. This is something I have to do. If I don't do this, I'll get more down. So better get your ass up and like go hit the gym.
Yeah, definitely great. And so I mean, of course, you just recently had a fight. And is there any kind of possible date or maybe month that you're looking to get back in the ring?
I would be happy to fight by like maybe October or like maybe end of September. Let's see what happens. Like we're still looking for fights. So I'm talking to my manager. Like if something comes up, he'll definitely let me know, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, brilliant. And you're working with and fighting on, especially in your last fight, with No Limits Australia, and they're of course with Fox as well. And what is it like fighting on their big shows?
Oh, it's a great honor because like the whole country is watching you, especially like you're on camera, and like it's a big card. And my corner was pretty like supportive. Like they were the one who encouraged me to take this fight. Like you'll be on TV and like you'll be well known across the country. So yeah, it was a great honor fighting on their show, and like loved every bit of it.
Amazing. And I mean, as of recent, with their help, there've been some great shows in Australia, and the kind of development of Australian boxing has been doing very well. And I mean, you've been around the sport for a while now, but what have you made of the development of Australian boxing?
I mean, look, it doesn't matter. It's Australia at the moment, but if you look at any sport or any country, it's all about exposure. Like the more exposure you get, the better you become. Australia is starting to get more exposure in boxing now, so Australian boxers are getting better. So it's all about getting exposure, and that's what we are having right now. And like, and you'll see more Australian boxers improve.
Indeed, we will. It's amazing. And so, for yourself and the way you kind of fight, what would you say is your best attributes?
My best attribute is like I would say I put a lot of pressure on the other fighter, and like I don't take any backstep and like just keep punching, keep fighting, keep moving forward. That's the only thing I could say about myself. I'm tenacious.
Okay, amazing. And so I mean, you've had your fair share of fights, and you've done very well for yourself so far. And how would you like to be remembered in boxing?
Oh, I haven't thought that far, to be honest. I just like, well, it's mainly about me, not what others think of me. That's why I'm doing it. And I don't care if I'm being remembered or not. Like, I'm just having a really great time fighting, loving it. And if it comes to which it will come to an end, like, I'll cherish it as like, one of the best memories of my life, and like, we'll move on to the next chapter.
Indeed. And so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask for your fans and for the sponsors. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I would like to say, like, I appreciate all your support and your well wishes, and it gives me encouragement and like, purpose to fight even more, because you are in the background to support me and everything. That's all I can say about them. Amazing. So thank you very much for supporting me and being behind me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Tej. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and
likewise, man. Thanks for talking to me.
Lovely stuff. And so if you're on your round and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you did, like the video, and thanks for